program. And I'm honored to be here representing the students. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about myself, my own journey, and how FNTI has helped support me and help me get to where I am today and the man I'm going to become in the future. I was adopted at the age of 6 months old into a European Western family, and I really didn't grow up having any knowledge or connection with my roots, with my Indigenous roots. At an early stage in my life, I started to develop some identity struggles, some identity issues within myself. I didn't really always asking, why am I different, and who am I really? At an early age, I looked in the mirror, and the first thing I saw was fear, I think, and that created confusion. And it even eventually got to the point where I developed some self-hatred towards myself. I grew up through life in early adulthood, really trying to struggle with finding out who I was and who am I going to become. And a lot of those struggles became very painful at certain points in my life. But there was always something that I was connected with, always something that drew strength when I felt like I really didn't have any, and I didn't recognize it for what it was at the time, but I'm learning that that was my spirit, and that's something that with the help of FNTI and with the help of a lot of my elders and healers are helping me realize that I'm more than just a man. I was always a spirit even before I wasn't here. Throughout my adult life, it eventually led me to my Indigenous therapist, which was really my first real connection with my roots and with my culture. And he took me under his wing, and I'll even call him my mentor. And we were sitting there one day trying to figure out together the direction and the next steps I was going to take within my life. And he was an alumni from FNTI, and I always knew, like, from my teenage years, I spent some time in group homes, and I'm like, I want to help people. I want to inspire to become a social worker or some sort of healer and help others with maybe some of the struggles that I was struggling with through my upbringing. And then we were sitting in his office one day, and he said, let's just make this phone call. Let's call up FNTI. It was already, school had already started. I was a week behind, and we said, what's the worst that could happen? So we called up the school, and within a week and a half, I was on my way up to pursue my post-secondary education. I remember the first week of school was culture camp, and I stepped into the teepee that was on the land at the school, and my first thought was, oh boy, what did I get myself into? Because this was the beginning of my Indigenous journey. But within probably about 5-10 minutes, I felt this completely calming feeling over myself, and I felt like I was finally home. I was embraced with love, with support, and whereas I thought I was coming up to school just to get an education and a future career, it became so much more for me. It became a sense of family, it became a sense of love, and it became a sense of support. And a connection with my people and with the community and with family that I never knew I was able to be a part of. Since coming to school and meeting elders and learning from elders, I'm doing my own personal healing and my own personal growth as an Indigenous man. They've supported me so much beyond just getting an education. I've actually just over the summer I stepped back onto the land where I'm from, and they supported me and actually came with me with this journey. And I actually ended up meeting my biological family while I was there, who actually there's my nephew is here, and it was just coincidence that we ran into each other, but My life has come so And just with this Indigenous style of learning, when we're sitting in a room together and I'm sitting across from people, other students, like there's so much more than just education there. There's a connection, there's a feeling, there's spirits connecting, and that's something that I was always seeking throughout my life, but I didn't know where to find it. And coming together at FNTI with students, with the teachers, with the elders, with the healers, with all the supporting faculty, I actually feel like I'm becoming the man I'm supposed to be, fulfilling the pre-chosen destiny that I had when I spoke to the Creator before I was born. And although there was some struggles and times of pain, all those have been important lessons and important knowledge that I'm gonna use within my professional career, hopefully helping others within the social worker field, but also learning how to help reconnect me with my family, my adopted family, my biological family, and just again become the man I want to be and the man I'm supposed to be. And today, when I look in the mirror now, today I see somebody that I love. I see a proud Indigenous man, a man that I've been waiting to meet my whole life. Thank you.